Hello friends, I'm Winston. Welcome to today's video, how to repot young Oroya. Oroya peruviana is a cacti from South America, and that's the plant you're looking at. I've realized that I only now have one plant left. I've come to the conclusion that I should produce a new generation of babies. Since there are lots of pups, if I single-handedly pick them out, replant them, within a few years, I'd be able to show the world a new generation of Oroya peruviana. So let's get started. That's my only plan. What I'm doing now is to get rid of the pot first, and then later I'm going to separate the little babies as we go along. Now, recently, I tried to separate some babies, and they were difficult. Oroya proves very easy. Using a wooden fork, I noticed how easy it was to get rid of the babies. They were attached to the mother plant, but only by a thin thread, which makes it very possible for me to separate. I looked carefully to see if there are any other difficulties which present us. Only one of them, as you can see, had rooted properly. The rest of them had minimal roots, very fragile little roots, which were of no great concern. I noticed slightly there were kinds of scales on some of the plants, so I decided to approach. First of all, I'll drench with insecticide in order to make sure the scales disappear. Also, once I've done the insecticide bit, I would make sure they dry out completely. Maybe give them a day and come back tomorrow and do the planting. Altogether, I had 14 young babies. Okay, that's the young babies in a drench with 7, which makes it easy for me to separate, dry them out. This day, I decided I'll put them in my greenhouse so they can get lots of stuff. Next day, 24 hours later, you're seeing me here starting off to pot the plants. This is the largest of the babies, and that's the only one that has been rooted properly. It's already had a root more than 4 inches. So therefore, I decided I'd plant this one in the pot first. It suggests that this plant will grow very easily, and I will have no difficulty putting it back in the greenhouse. The rest of them I would take in small groups and place in different pots. Oroya peruviana, as the name suggests, comes from Peru, and it is still a very rare plant, but because of the attractive flowers, I personally think it should be much better known. One of the reasons for doing this is to make sure some of the plants are spread throughout the country, even here in London, and hopefully we'll be able to popularize this plant. Okay, you've seen the second. We are moving on to the third set of young pups. Now this is easier because these plants are dried out and will present no problems in the way we plant. In this case, a little hole in the center, press into the soil, and they should be all right. The soil makes generally the same for me: perlite, multi-purpose, and some pea gravel. Gravel is always easy to use, and it helps to keep the plants or the young pups firm in the pot, and therefore, in many ways, when it comes to settling and finally growing, they should have no problem whatsoever. Right, we've come to the end of the session in terms of what we have done. The mother plant I intend to repot sometime later, but we have almost more than a dozen young babies ready to go out into the world. 1, 3, 4, and these are very easy to grow by cacti standard. So altogether, that's 3, 4, 5, and 9, 14 young babies ready to go out into the world. As I said, the soil mix: perlite, pea gravel, and of course multi-purpose, your general peat or whatever you use, and that should keep it nice and firm. The big plant, I'll make sure I repot sometime later. Winston in London, singing the praises of Oroya peruviana and hoping you will grow some. Thank you for watching.